All right, welcome back to another episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. Tonight, it's just Keith and Chris. We are going to jump into the best 3-0 team remaining in the NFL. Before we do that, always hit that subscribe button, like our videos, and share them, of course, with people you think would enjoy them. And feel free to always leave us a comment. So we will always get back with you and probably laugh at what you say.
Most likely.
And we don't take offense to anything.
No, not at all.
3-0 teams. There's two of them. Philly, Miami. Get ready to go into week 3. I'm a little surprised there's not more 3-0 teams, but I think the NFL's been pretty even this year. We've seen a lot of people.
For the most part, yeah.
A lot of people would be able to pick up wins. I mean, Jacksonville is leading the AFC South, which is scary. So,
2-1,
and the Raiders are 0-3.
I know that's what's really surprising is the Raiders being 0-3 with all the talent they have on that team. What they went out and got.
It's surprising.
It's very surprising.
So, all right, Philly, Miami. I think we both have the same opinion on which team we think is better. But I do have a hitch that I was reading about today, and I want you to take this into too, right? Philly's schedule, they've been at Detroit, at home against Minnesota, at Washington, right? Blown out everybody except Detroit. Of course, they beat Detroit on the road 38-35. Beat Minnesota 24-7 on Monday night, and then beat Washington this past Sunday 24-8, right? So take that schedule into account. Now let's talk about Miami's schedule. At home against New England, which they beat 20-7, went to Baltimore,
Came back from being 21 down.
and won 42-38, and then at home against Buffalo this past week, won 21-19.
They tried to give that game away though.
I agree with you there, but you got to look at this and you got to say, I honestly will say, I think New England is better than any of the 3 teams that Philly has faced yet. I know for a fact that Baltimore and Buffalo are definitely better than any of those 3 teams.
Right now, currently with the way teams have been playing, I'd put Detroit up against New England.
Yeah.
I think they're both pretty even.
Yeah, second highest in points this season.
Yeah, so I mean, I would put them up there.
Okay.
But, I mean, I'm not. But yes, but based off of what you're saying, Baltimore definitely better than Minnesota, and Buffalo's arguably the best team in the league.
Yeah.
So
Miami's 3-0. Buffalo's still a better team.
Oh, absolutely. Going through the season, I think Philly's probably going to have the better team. I think they have a better offensive line. I think they have a better defensive line, and I mean, weapons-wise, I think they're both pretty evenly matched. I might give the nod to Miami because I think Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are better than A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
But I give Philly the nod on offensive line and Philly the nod on defense.
Defense as a whole or just defensive line?
I think defense as a whole. I mean, outside of the game against Detroit, but I mean it's just a tough call because I mean Miami was able to hold Buffalo to 19, but they gave up 38 to Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Baltimore's a good team. Baltimore's got a good offense. They're healthy this year, right? Like, you got to look at Baltimore and you got to say, okay, Baltimore's finally healthy. What do they look like now?
Yeah, but I mean, they're depending on one receiver and one tight end for the most part in the passing game.
And they have multiple running backs.
Yeah.
So, I agree with you. I think the Phillies' defensive line, definitely their offensive line, but I think their defensive line is better than Miami's, even with Roquan Davis, Emmanuel Adebayo, Melvin Ingram, and Christian Wilkins. But I think for me, I would actually probably say that Miami's defense as a whole is better than Philly's defense as a whole. Philly's defense, Darius Slay has played very, very well at corner. But outside of him, I think Philly's defense is a liability at the linebacker and secondary positions. So, Xavier Howard, Brandon Jones, Jalen Phillips, I think it's a combination of them have probably been a better unit than what Philly has to offer. I'm with you. I actually think I'm probably going to disagree with you on the skill set position. I think if you're going to give me 4 from each team, you're going to give me a quarterback, a running back, and 2 receivers. And honestly, we'll throw the tight end in there too, because I think Dallas Goedert's better than Mike Gesicki personally. But if you're going to give me the 5, so a quarterback, a running back, 2 receivers, and a tight end, I'm going to take Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Dallas Goedert over Tua. At the moment, Chase Edmonds is the starting running back. mixed with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Mike Gesicki.
Well, I only gave Miami the nod on the receivers because I just think those two as a combined are better than Devonta Smith and AJ Brown, because AJ Brown has a tendency to be hurt.
Oh yeah. We're taking that into account.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
So I mean, AJ Brown has a tendency to be hurt. I mean, and let's be honest, Devonta Smith only weighs 170 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, he had a great game last week. AJ Brown has been healthy. He's proven to be that number one guy that they thought they were going to get when they went out and traded for him. But I would agree, Miles Sanders is better than Chase Edmonds, and I would agree that Dallas Goedert is definitely 10 times better than Mike Gesicki.
I mean, Mike's called touchdowns this year. Tua has found a way to fit the ball to Mike Gesicki in the back of the end zone.
Dallas has caught two or three. So I mean,
he's caught one. Devonta's caught one. AJ Brown's caught one, and Quez Watkins has caught one.
I thought
Jalen Hurts has run for 3 touchdowns already this year. They as a team have run for 6 touchdowns in the first 3 games.
Yeah, Miles Sanders has actually been a surprise this year. He was a buster on the draft boards this year.
5 yards a carry right now.
No.
5 yards a carry. So, all right. So we'll both say we'll go with Philly as the best 3-0.
Yeah, I think Philly's the better 3-0 team.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll put a bow on this episode. As always, we appreciate you. Hit us, like, comment, subscribe.